Tigmin Tay, Ragmia Hengelhardt, Delano Shelaza, Rowan Van Her, Nelmerson Angela. Now the rest of the national team, Netherlands. Now umpires, Jair Fernández, México. Malcolm Johnson, Sudáfrica. Jairo Mendoza, Nicaragua. Chaya Silva, Venezuela. Ryan Harder, Australia. La comisión técnica, Angelo Fanara, Italia. Johnny Pantoja, Colombia. Anotadores, Andrés de León Bolaños, William Pérez, de Colombia, y Darian Diz Rodríguez, Colombia. Ahora los himnos de los equipos nacionales a enfrentarse. Himno Czech Republic. Now listening, national anthems of Netherlands. Now hand check for the players. Gracias a los voluntarios.
Well, once again, we say buenos dias desde el Estadio de Béisbol 18 de Junio. Day number one of the consolation round here in Monteria, Colombia. Thanks so much for your company. My name is Andrew Reynolds. My partner Alex Cohen will be along a little bit later on in the day. Well, after 5 days of opening round baseball, it has come to this in Monteria. 3 teams depart, and 3 teams have arrived. The 3 new ball clubs that we will see the next 3 days as part of this consolation round: the Netherlands, South Africa, and the host nation of Colombia. So the way that this consolation round works, similar to the way that the Super Round works, just in reverse. So all 3 teams that were here in Group B will play the 3 teams that they have not currently played. You can see there Colombia, Netherlands, and South Africa. Those 3 teams obviously will play Puerto Rico, Australia, and the Czech Republic. Still a lot at stake, however, in this consolation round, particularly in the middle of those standings. Australia and the Netherlands, they are just 20 points apart in the world rankings at 7 and 8. The Netherlands ahead of Australia. But depending on who finishes ahead of whom in this consolation round will directly affect the final 2018 standings. There you get a look at Malcolm Johnson, our home plate umpire, shaking hands with our two managers, Sidney de Jong of the Netherlands and Vladimir Kloop of the Czech Republic. There is the starting lineup for the Czech Republic, looking for their first win in this tournament. 0-5 in the opening round. They were outscored by a total of 40 points total. One of the bright spots right smack dab in the middle of that order is Martin Muzik, the catcher, hitting in the 4th spot. He hit that 3-run bomb in the game 2 days ago against the Dominican Republic that tied the game at 5 apiece. The Czech Republic had a really good chance to play spoiler in that contest. Unable to do it as the Dominican won the game, and they have moved on to the Super Round in Barranquilla. There is the defensive setup for the Netherlands, who come into this game 2-3. Delano Salasa, Albert de Jong, and Rashid Engelhardt left to right in the outfield. Sheraton Apostle, Francinel Martina, Svindley Lent, and Timo Taka on the infield. And Rowan van Hoek will be the catcher for the Netherlands. So an off day yesterday, at least it was here in Monteria. There was no off day in Barranquilla. In fact, this Netherlands team, they had to play baseball yesterday, and then immediately hopped on a charter flight thanks to the Colombian military in order to take that 40-minute venture southwest here to Monteria. They defeated South Africa 7-3 in a resumed ball game yesterday. It was a good one in the afternoon contest as well. Chinese Taipei ended up beating Colombia 6-5. That game was to get into the Super Round. Chinese Taipei get in. Colombia had to travel from Barranquilla here to Monteria. There is Nelmerson Angela, the 20-year-old left-hander, 6 foot 170 pounds, out of Willemstad, Curacao. He does have one appearance in this tournament. It was a relief appearance against Mexico in the Netherlands' 14-7 win last Saturday. He threw only 2/3 of an inning, allowing 2 earned runs. And he is a star of the future for sure. He's been in the Mets system in the Dominican Summer League since he was 17, and has an ERA collectively in over 80 innings pitched in 5 seasons of under 2.00. So Nelmerson Angela getting the start, and he will face a pesky Czech Republic team that have been close to victory a pair of times. Again, they led Korea early in the tournament, dropped one by only 2 runs to Australia, and then in the final contest of the opening round here in Monteria, the afternoon game 2 days ago, they took the Dominican Republic to extra innings and even scored in the 10th inning before the Dominican Republic walked it off in the last of the 10th. So this Czech Republic team, they've been pesky. They are looking for their first win of the tournament. They are 0-5, taking on 2-3. The Netherlands. Should be a fun one. Thanks for your company on this Thursday morning. 3 more days of action here in Monteria. It will all culminate in a World Championship final taking place at 7 o'clock on Sunday night in Barranquilla. That Super Round getting underway this morning as well. The first game will be Korea taking on Japan. We'll keep an eye on the scores in Barranquilla as we progress through the day here in Monteria. But Angela's first offering coming to Philippe Mostek is high for a ball. And we are underway, bang on 10 o'clock. And another beautiful morning in Monteria. We've been lucky the last few days. The rain has stayed away, despite the amount of rain showers that we saw early in this tournament. There was a 36 or 48-hour period early in this tournament when it seemed like the rain would never cease. But it finally has. We've had beautiful blue skies, some clouds overhead. Sometimes the clouds have been nice just for a bit of reprieve. The 1-0 from Angela is swung on and missed. It'll even the count, a ball on a strike on Philippe Mostek. Still plenty of smiles in that Czech Republic dugout, despite the way the ball has bounced for them a couple of times in this tournament. Unlucky to not have a win, perhaps, as the 1-1 hit him. Oh, it got Mostek to the outside hand, it looks like. Maybe it was the left hand. Could have been the inside hand here. It was. You see it gets him on the left hand as he tried to check his swing. Well, it's hard to get hit on the top part of your inside hand as a hitter, but it happened there to Mostek. He appears to be okay. He's just nursing it, as you might imagine. Just so many small bones in the hands that when you get hit by a baseball, it's obviously quite painful. It's quite fragile. It's one of the more injury-prone areas that you see for hitters in this game of baseball, particularly that hamate bone. The athletic trainer for the Czech Republic, rightfully so, just having a check on Filip Mostek. It will certainly swell up and perhaps bother him for the rest of the day, but the coaching staff and the training staff cleared him to stay in the ball game. So not the ideal start for Nelmerson Angela. He hits the first man that he faces. And here now is Filip Smola, who's 4 for 12 in this tournament. The first two, the left-hander. There's a fastball that's in for a called strike. The Czech Republic, 15 runs scored, 55 runs allowed. They are minus 40 in the run differential category. Of course, one day really made all the difference as far as that run differential is concerned. That 20-0 loss to Puerto Rico, in which Yadier Molina's team took out a bit of frustration 3 nights ago here in Monteria. They were 0-3 going into that ball game and took out their frustrations on the Czech Republic. 0-1, missing low for a ball. That'll even the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Speaking of Yadier Molina, who we will see later on today when Puerto Rico takes on South Africa in the second game of the day, he was awarded the Roberto Clemente Award for his outstanding efforts away from the field as a humanitarian. See if we can't catch up with Yadier Molina a little bit later on today and ask him about receiving that award, of course, with his relief efforts in Puerto Rico early on in the year. A proud Puerto Rican, obviously managing the national team here in Monteria. Unlucky for them not to get to the Super Round. He would probably be disappointed with that, Yadier Molina, but certainly I imagine would be humbled as a recipient of the Roberto Clemente Award. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Smola, and it's spoiled off foul down the left field line. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There was a presentation for Yadier Molina last night at the World Series in Boston, Game 2, that Boston ended up winning over the Los Angeles Dodgers. And of course, Yadier was not there to be able to accept the award because he's here in Monteria, Colombia. Smola looking for his 5th base hit of the tournament, the 2-2. Called strike 3. It was a delayed call for Malcolm Johnson. But the right call for the home plate umpire as Smola strikes out looking, the 5th time that he has gone down on strikes this week. Here's another look. It's a good pitch from Angela. Even froze Malcolm Johnson, the home plate umpire. Waves the arm, calls strike 3, and there's 1 away here in the top of the 1st. So here's Martin Cervenka, who we last saw exiting the ball game against the Dominican Republic. Even more remarkable that the Czech Republic were able to do what they did in that game despite having lost 3 of their best players. Here's a ball bounced toward the third base side, and that will get out of play. Well, prior to that game, they had lost Marek Schlup, perhaps their most highly touted player, who had to fly back to the United States as a student at NC State University. Their usual starting catcher got hurt early in the week. And so Lucas Turcotte has had to catch the last 3 games for the Czech Republic. And then they lost their starting shortstop, Martin Cervenka, who made a charging play and then quickly exited early in that game against the Dominican Republic, and they still took the international powerhouse nation to extra innings in that final game of the opening round. This one's lofted toward the right side, and that's down for a base hit. Mostek on his way to third. He will hold up there. It's a one-out single for Martin Cervenka, his 6th base hit of this tournament. And the Czech Republic threatening early in the top of the first inning. They have runners at the corners with 1 out for Martin Muzik. Well, that was a good piece of hitting from Cervenka. Choked up on the bat, hit it the opposite way, and it landed about a foot or two inside of that right field foul line. And Nelmerson Angela has a battle on his hands with the Czech Republic here in the first inning. Muzik hit that long home run into right center field to tie the ball game against the Dominican Republic. It was a 5-run 5th inning. And here he hits a ball high and deep. This one to left field. Looks like Salasa will have room. The runner will tag. The throw comes into second base, and it's an early lead for the Czech Republic. So not a base hit with runners at the corners, but they do get a sac fly, and it is an early lead for the Czech Republic. Good work here in the first. And they have led plenty of times in this tournament. They led against Korea. They took a lead over Australia. They did so against the Dominican Republic. Now they have their 4th lead against the 6th team that they have played. Certainly they are the 18th ranked nation in the world, but they've had a lead 4 of the 6 times they've played this week. Here's Jakub Grapel hitting now. He takes the ball. So the hit by pitch to begin the inning by Nelmerson Angela comes back to bite him, as Philippe Mostek scores on the sacrifice fly. 5th RBI for Martin Muzik. 1-0 misses inside for a ball. Now 2-0. Jakub Grapel, he's 3 for 4 in this tournament. 3 for 14, I should say. Tried to take 10 at-bats away from him. Here's a 2-0. And this ball's crushed. On a line, deep left field, and did it stay fair? No. Just foul, says Ryan Harder, the Australian third base umpire. He was well down the left field line to make the call. Ball was crushed by Jakub Grapel, and I think Vladimir Schloop is going to come out to challenge this call. Malcolm Johnson will go out to have a chat with Ryan Harder, and we'll see. Malcolm Johnson shrugging his shoulders as if to say, I didn't see it. And it looks like we are going to have a very, very early challenge. Jairo Mendoza, I believe, is the crew chief, but it looks as though Saya Silva, Jairo Mendoza is the man on your right. He's the first base umpire, but it looks as though Saya Silva, the second base umpire, has gone under the headset in that third base dugout. And this is a big call. 2 outs in the inning. A home run makes it 3-0. If the call stands, and it is indeed a foul ball, it will simply just be a 2-ball, 1-strike count against the right-handed swinging Jakub Grapel. I thought off the bat that it would stay fair for sure. The ball sort of disappears down that left field line from our broadcast position, so it's hard to see. But do keep in mind that Ryan Harder was probably 20 or 30 feet in the left field down that third base line. I guess the left field line by the time he got to where he was positioned, and he threw both hands into the air as if to say foul ball immediately. But Vladimir Schloop, who there you see standing on the top step of that first base dugout, he would have had a good look at it as well. From where he's standing, he is almost directly in line with the third base and left field foul line. And it's a home run. Saya Silva emerging from the third base dugout, wags the finger, and it is a 2-run, 2-out bomb for Jakub Grapel. And the Czech Republic have a 3-0 lead in the top of the first inning. And in one of the stranger home run trots that you will ever see, Jakub Grapel, after standing off toward the first baseline, will now circle them all. And he steps atop home plate. Sort of a sarcastic cheer given by his teammates, and it's 3-0 Czech Republic. So Vladimir Šlup elects to challenge. He gets it right. And it's been a disastrous first inning for Nelmerson Angela. His first offering to Jakub Kubica is taken for a called strike. Kubica just 1 for 14. His one base hit has gone for extra bases. He takes the first, 0-1 rather, high for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. One, two, just missing off the plate outside. Angela thought he had the strike call. He was 4 steps to the dugout. A sly grin given by Jakub Kubica, who keeps the at-bat alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The lefty rocks and fires, and the 2-2 fought off the hands. We'll do it again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think that was probably one of the more anticlimactic home run trots that I've seen in over a decade calling baseball games. That home run trot from Jakub Grapel. Here's the next to Kubica. That one's fouled off behind home plate. He just got a piece. It will stay 2-2. It's a pretty pesky at bat being put together here by the left hand. Home run from Martin Muzik in the final game of the opening round, and now a 2-run bomb from Jakub Grapel in the first game of the consolation round. They've hit 2 home runs in 2 games. They did not have a big fly in the first 4 games of this tournament. As a matter of fact, they played at only a total of 8 runs in those first 4 games. Off speed, this one's popped up foul down the left field line. And Jakub Kubica is proving to be quite pesky here against Nelmerson Angela. Looking for his second base hit of the tournament, the 2-2. Fastball, Angela blows it by him. And an 8-pitch at bat comes to a close. But the Czech Republic, they pick up 3, punctuated by the 2-run bomb from Jakub Grapel, second of the tournament for the Czech Republic. We go to the last of the first, 3-0. Netherlands coming to the plate.
Welcome to Montería, the green and sustainable city of Colombia. Monterianízate. El turno al bate es para John Aldrich, centerfield.
Aldrich de Jong leading things off for the Netherlands, who find themselves down 3-0 heading to the home half of the first inning. De Jong takes a ball high from Lucas Slouch, who's getting his second start in this tournament. His first was against Australia. That was on Saturday. The next from Slouch, missing low, 2-0. Pitched relatively well in that ball game, did the right-hander. 4 innings, 4 earned runs. He struck out 5. And he's only 17 years of age. He won't turn 18 until December 12th. So a called strike is taken by de Jong. He could play in another 2 of these U-23 World Cups if he's chosen to. Still very, very young, this right-hander. And again, played very well the first time that we saw him. Here's a fastball that he blows by de Jong. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 193 centimeters, 98 kgs. He's certainly a good size for a 17-year-old. Here's the 2-2. Did de Jong lay off? He did indeed. That'll run the count full with Franciel Martina waiting on deck for the Netherlands. One of the youngest in this tournament. The Czech Republic pitcher spoiled off foul toward the left field side. Head will get out of play. We'll do it again at 3-2. And he's got good life on his stuff. Really just 2 main pitches. Fastball, changeup. His fastball here that's spoiled foul behind home plate. It will stay 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it'll be de Jong, Martina, and Sherton Apostel, the 3 due-up in this first inning for the Netherlands. Ruar Verkerk will hit if anyone reaches base. Netherlands 2-3 in their first 5 games of this tournament. Here's the payoff, and it's popped up. Left side, third baseman giving chase, but he just runs out of room. Can't fault the effort from Jakub Kubica. Climbing the fence over there beyond the third base dugout, but he would have needed a go-go gadget arm to make the catch. And again, this Netherlands team, they need some wins if they want to hold on to the number 7 ranking. They are only 20 ranking points ahead of Australia, and both teams are in this consolation round. The 3-2 fouled off again. Coming into this tournament, the Netherlands ranked 7th in the world with 2,263 points. And Australia has 2,233 points, so only 30 points separating Australia and the Netherlands in the world rankings. Here's a high fly ball to Novotny in center. He makes the catch. And a long first plate appearance for Aldrich de Jong ends with a fly out. There's 1 away. So it looks to be the main ranking point that can flip-flop as part of this consolation round, the Netherlands and Australia. Of course, those 2 teams will meet as part of this consolation round. That will be tomorrow afternoon, the middle game tomorrow, starting at 3 o'clock. Here's a swing and a miss from Franciel Martina, leading this tournament in runs driven in. He has driven in a total of 7, has had a really good tournament, 6 for 18. Has homered and driven in a total of 7, this one missing low. First Super Round game is underway at Estadio Edgar Renteria in Barranquilla. The 1-1 is flied on the infield. Kubica calling everyone off. He makes the catch. And Lucas Slouch has retired the first 2 that he's faced in the first.
Welcome to Monterrey, the green and sustainable.
Will anyone beat Japan? That is the question. Japan are leading Korea 1-0. Perhaps Venezuela will give them the best shake. Those 2 teams will meet tomorrow afternoon. That should be a fun ball game. Of course, both teams are undefeated. Will they be undefeated when they meet tomorrow? Venezuela will take on Mexico tonight. Should be a raucous crowd in Barranquilla for that one on a Thursday night. Venezuela taking on Mexico. Hope to have a good crowd here tonight for our nightcap when the host Colombia take on Australia. It will be the first time that those here in Monteria will get a look at Colombia. Of course, Colombia probably wishing that they were still in Barranquilla playing in the super round. This one's fouled off toward the right side. It's a ball and a strike now on Chertin Apostle. Still plenty of good baseball to come and plenty to be sorted out in Barranquilla before we play for the title of world champion on Sunday night. Apostle takes low for a ball, 2-1. The top third in this Netherlands order have been very, very good. By and large, their offense has been very top-heavy in this tournament. Here's a 2-1. That one hit off the foot of Apostle and writhing in pain a bit, a few steps outside of that box. But we'll try and walk it off. Looks like he does have an ankle guard on. It's inside of his pant leg. You don't see that very often. Usually they wear them on the outside of the pant leg. That makes it easy to remove once on base, but he's got it on the inside of the pant leg, the right-handed swing. In this an offense, it's been very top-heavy. 6 for 19, Aldrich de Jong. 6 for 18, Franciel Martina. 7 for 21. This young man, Chertin Apostle and Ruer Verkerk, who's on deck, is 6 for 20. Problem is, hits have been hard to come by for the rest of this Netherlands offense. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off again. Out of play toward the right side. Team hitting collectively 270 as a ball club. They've scored 6 runs per game. Problem is they've allowed 8. Allowing 8 a game, scoring 6 a game has not been a winning combination for the most part for this Netherlands team. They come in with a run differential of -11. Now -14 as the Czech Republic have scored 3 times. Here's a swing and a miss. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Lucas Lauch. Strikes out 1, gets a pair of fly balls. We go to the second inning, 3-0 Czech Republic. (3-0) our score as we go to the second inning here in Monteria, day 1 of the consolation round. Here at the U-23 Baseball World Cup, 3 of the teams stayed. 3 other teams flew in from Barranquilla yesterday, and the top 3 teams from the opening round here in Monteria have done the opposite. They've gone to Barranquilla. In fact, one of those teams playing this morning in Korea. Korea ended up being the 3rd place team out of Group B, and by virtue of that drew regional rival Japan this morning. Still a 1-0 ball game as they play in the second inning in Barranquilla. Lucas Trincat leading off. He takes the ball high in the 0-1. The 1-1 rather. It's 2 balls and a strike down the right hand. It'll be Trincat, Novotny, and Andrusek. The latter third. And Vladimir Schloop's order. It's a called strike for Malcolm Johnson, and the count even 2-2. Trincat just 1 for 6. Again, he's had limited playing time. The #1 catcher for this Czech Republic team has been injured in Martin Kalabek. So Trincat has done a majority of the catching the last few days. This one's fouled off toward the right side. I was talking last inning. It truly was remarkable how well this Czech team was able to play against the Dominican Republic, despite the fact that you would think that they were outmanned. They were losing, missing perhaps 3 of their best players, and Kalabek. Their shortstop Cervenka left early in the game. Marek Schloop was on a plane back to the United States, and it still took extra innings for the Dominican Republic to win that ball game and punch their ticket to Barranquilla. There were 2 teams licking their chops, Australia and Puerto Rico, if the Dominican Republic went down in that ball game. 3-2, and this one is popped up. Foul and out of play. We'll do it again at 3-2. As it ended up, that game wouldn't have meant anything if the Czech Republic did win, because Puerto Rico beat Australia by a single run. And had it been a 3-way tie at 2 wins and 3 losses between the Dominican, Australia, and Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic would have still advanced on the team quality balance. Here's a leadoff walk issued to Lucas Trincat. So Nelmerson Angela hits the leadoff man, who came around to score in the first, and here he walks the leadoff man in the second inning. The struggle for that young man. First few batters that he has faced. Here's the 8-hole hitting Radim Novotny, who has occupied the leadoff spot at times in this tournament, hitting 8th today. Takes inside for a ball. Novotny 3 for 15 in this U-23 World Cup. 20-year-old right-handed swinging center fielder awaits the 1-0, and it's hard hit down the line, a base hit. This could go for extra bases. It will. Trincat on his way to third. He will hold up there. It's a double for Radim Novotny, and once again, here come the Czech Republic. It's the first extra base hit of this tournament for Radim Novotny. He just pokes it down the third baseline. Past the diving glove of Gertin Apostel. Did all he could to get to the baseball, but was unable to do so. An extra base hit for Novotny, and there's runners at second and third. The Czech Republic threatening again here in the second inning. Here's Jakub Andrusek, 1 for 11 in this tournament, and looking for his first RBI. First run of this game scored on a sacrifice fly by Martin Muzik, and here's a fly ball into right. This could get the job done. Relatively shallow, the catch is made. The runner is tagging. No, he's not. He held up, and probably wisely so. It was a good throw from Rashid Engelhardt in and right. And Trincat wisely stays put at third base. It's a fly ball to right field, and there's one gone here in the top of the second inning.
Thank you. Alcaldía de Montería presenta al bateador en turno.
So Novotny aboard at second. It's Trincat aboard at third. One out here in the second inning. Here's Philippe Mostek, who scored the first run of the game after being hit by a pitch back in the first. Takes a ball off the plate outside. And the Czech Republic have scored a total of 15 runs in this tournament coming into today. A base hit here would give them a third of that run total in 2 innings against the Netherlands. Here's a 1-0. That one's just off the plate outside, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. And I'm telling you, when Martin Muzik hit that home run to tie the game against the Dominican Republic, he did more than tie the ball game. He gave this Czech Republic team belief that they can hang with anybody in this tournament. The Netherlands are a higher ranked team than the Dominican Republic as far as the world rankings are concerned. This ball's fouled off toward the left side. I said the one thing more powerful than a million-man army is the belief against them. And ever since that inning, this Czech Republic team has been a completely different ball club. We're down 5-0, appeared to be going nowhere against the Dominican Republic, and then all of a sudden it was a 5-all ball game. It then became a 6-all ball game, a 7-all ball game, and then the Dominican Republic pulled away for a walk-off win in the bottom of the 10th inning. What an incredible baseball game that was, with what was on the line for the Dominican Republic. Could have been a landmark win for the Czech Republic as a baseball-playing nation, but they were just tipped at the pole. 3-1 to Mostek. Here's a ground ball to second base. Turncotte stays put at third again. It's good work to this point from Nelmerson Angela after putting the first 2 aboard. A shallow fly ball to right, sharply hit ground ball to second. The runners have stayed put, and there's 2 away for Philip Smola. He wasn't going on contact, Turncotte. He doesn't appear to be overly enamored with his own running ability over at third base. I mean, he is a catcher. He's been very cautious. First on the fly ball to right. It was handled by Rashid Engelhart, and then now the ground ball to Sven Lent. He didn't want to challenge the second baseman's arm. Ground ball to the right side. A lot of runners would be off with contact, but Turncotte has stayed put. Here's the 1-0 to Smola. That's taken for a called strike on a fastball. Smola's struck out back in the first inning. He 4 for 13 all up in this World Cup. The 21-year-old left-hander has driven in 3, perhaps 4 and 5 on base. This one's popped up. Apostel coming in from third. He calls off his catcher and makes the grab. And a fist pump from the Netherlands starting pitcher Nelmerson Angela. Pitches his way out of a jam. The Czech Republic strand a pair. We go to the last of the second, 3-0.
Rinde tributo al POR, Oficina de Cultura y Turismo, Montería, adelante. Estamos construyendo una ciudad verde y sostenible. Cuida y defiende tus parques. Montería, la ciudad verde de Colombia.
3-0 Czech Republic in our first game of the consolation round here in Monterrey. Ruar Verkerk is leading things off. He fouls it off toward the right side. 4, 5, and 6 in the order for the Netherlands. And they came into this ball game on a winning streak. They lost their first 3 of this tournament to the host Colombia, Mexico, and Japan in the first 3 days in Barranquilla. I take it back, it was the first 4 days. On day 3, they had a suspended game, which they made up yesterday against South Africa. The day prior, they defeated Chinese Taipei 10-9. So they come in beating Chinese Taipei and South Africa in the last 2 days. But prior to losing 3 times in the first 4 days of this tournament. They come in on a winning streak, but they find themselves in the downside of a 3-0 scoreline, still looking for their first hit after Lucas Slouch retired them in order in the first. And Slouch delivers this one high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 29 runs scored, 40 runs allowed in the tournament for the Netherlands. Run differential of -11 to this point. Here's a 2-2. It's taken low. And the count full on Verkerk with Svenli Lent waiting on deck for the Netherlands. The team that's hit the ball relatively well. Again, 270 the average as a team, but as I talked about last inning, it's been very top heavy. The top 4 hitters in this lineup have done all the heavy lifting. This one's fouled away. He'll get out of play down the left field line. We'll do it again, 3-2. Aldrich de Jong, 6 of 19. Franciel Martinez, 6 of 18. Sherton Apostel, 7 for 21. This man, Ruar Verkerk, 6 of 20. But there is a sharp drop-off after these 4 hitters in the lineup for the Netherlands. Here's the payoff, and it's hit on the ground toward first. Good pickup by Mostek. He'll win the race to the bag. He steps atop the first base bag, and Lucas Slouch has retired the first 4 that he's faced. Been impressed with what I've seen from this young 17-year-old. Again, he will not turn 18 years of age until December 12th. He could play in 2 more of these U-23 World Cups if he so chooses. He has been good. At the start against Australia in that 5-3 loss. On day 2 of this tournament, 4 innings, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, but he kept the Czech Republic in that ball game. He even had a lead at one point. Here's a called strike to Svenli Lent, who is 1 for 13. I talked about this is where that drop-off offensively, as far as the numbers go, has occurred for the Netherlands. Here's the 0-1. Spoiled off foul, 0-2. For Sidney de Jong, the manager of this Netherlands team, he'd be scratching his head and say, look, we probably have had our chances to be a super round team. Close loss to Colombia on opening night. A game against Mexico that got away from them after leading early in that contest. Here's the 0-2 to Lent. Off speed, that's a pretty good pitch. That's a called strike 3. Malcolm Johnson maybe not sure of how many strikes there were. A pretty ho-hum strike call. Realized it was the 3rd of the at-bat, and Lent is down on strikes. 2nd strikeout for Slouch. This one just dropped in. Lent thought it was inside. Malcolm Johnson did not oblige. There's 2 away, and now here is Timin Taka, the left-handed swinging first baseman. And he takes the first for a called strike. Sidney de Jong, the manager of this Netherlands team, 39 years of age. He played for nearly a decade in the Dutch major leagues and has had plenty of experience coaching these Dutch national teams. Here's a swing and a miss and a 0-1. It's 0-2 now. If you stay tuned, I will attempt to pronounce the Dutch major leagues in Dutch. This one taken low for a ball. That was an opportunity for me to have an out and not do it. Onkbal Uftlas. Was practicing that for 2 hours prior to the start of today's game. Here's the 1-2. This one's hit on the ground towards second base. Charging, gobbling it up is Grapel. The underhand toss is in time. And that's good work from Lucas Louch. The right-hander's retired all 6 that he's faced to begin the ball game. Let's go to the third. I'm done speaking Dutch. It's 3-0 Czech Republic.
El deporte y la educación son nuestra bandera. El día de Montería. Montería, adelante, presenta a Martín Musig, receptores del bateador.
Top of the third inning. Czech Republic leading at 3-0. Here's a swing and a foul off toward the right side off the bat of Martin Cervenka, who's back in the lineup after a brief exit in the ball game against the Dominican Republic. Looked as though he injured himself on a throw. Pretty good play, which he charged in from second base. Made a throw on the run, but in his immediate plate appearance in the following half inning was pulled for a pinch hitter. So we didn't see him the rest of the ball game, but nice to see him starting here on this Thursday morning in the first game of the consolation round. His team's leading at 3-0, 3 runs on 3 hits to this point for the Czech Republic. And Cervenka swings and misses at the 2-1. That'll even things up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Onkbal Uflase. We'll go with that. 2-2 is swung on a miss. There is the third strikeout for Nelmerson and Jealous. Cervenka is down on strikes, and there's one away here in the third. Had him chasing on 2-2. Here's Martin Musig, who drove in the first run of the game with a sac fly back in the first. First to Musig is high and away for a ball. He's talking about the Dutch Major League's last inning. Sidney de Jong, the manager for this Netherlands side, was a longtime Dutch Major Leaguer and was very, very good in that Dutch Major League. .332 his career average. And then proceeded to try and pronounce Dutch Major Leagues. In Dutch, this is a phenomenal catch right at the third baseman, Sherton Apostel. Nearly took his glove hand off. What a play by Sherton Apostel at third base, stabbing a liner off the bat of Martin Musig, 2 away. Well, that's why they call it the hot corner. So Zach Shepard of Australia made a very similar play a couple of nights ago on a sharply hit ball against Puerto Rico. got to be some kind of crazy to play third base in this game of baseball. The amount of right-handed power that's in this game. Here's a 1-0 to Grapel. He swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. Grapel hit that 2-run bomb back in inning number 1. It was originally called a foul ball, then went to replay, and the call was reversed. This one popped up behind home plate. And Hook couldn't find it, the catcher. Thought maybe it was in front of home plate. It was probably 15, 20 feet behind. It goes a foul ball bunt strike, and it's 1-2. Elmerson Angela just a strike away from potentially throwing his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. Faced 6 men in the first. He faced 5 in the second. Czech Republic midway through their lineup for the second time here in the top of the third inning. Here's a 1-2. Swung on and missed. Good off speed pitch there from Angela. And he retires him in order. 2 Ks in the inning. He has struck out 4. We go to the last of the third. Czech Republic leading 3-0. (3-0) our score. Czech Republic leading the Netherlands as we go to the home half of the third inning. Andrew Reynolds hanging out with you on a Thursday morning here in Monteria, Colombia. The first of 3 days of this consolation round. And Rashid Engelhardt will be the man leading things off. He's 3 for 13 through the opening round of this tournament. He takes a ball in the first from Lucas Hlauch. Netherlands still looking for their first base runner. The 17-year-old right-handers retired the side in order each of the first 2 innings. Next to Engelhardt, missing inside for a ball. It'll be Rashad Engelhardt, Delano Salasa, and Rowan Van Hoek. 7, 8, and 9 spots, the latter third of the order for the Netherlands. The 2-0, there's a called strike. It's a Czech Republic team that is allowed more than 10 earned runs per 9 innings pitched in this tournament. Here's a 2-1. Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Lucas Hlauch. I've been impressed with what I've seen from the tall young right-hander. Again, he's just 17 years of age. Won't turn 18 until December. And my, oh my, has he been impressive for a 17-year-old playing against much older opposition. It's the 23-year-old Rashid Engelhardt fouls one back. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The hitter, nearly 6 years the senior of the pitcher. But Lucas Hlauch has looked the stronger so far. The 2-2, it's slapped towards shortstop on a hop to Cervenka, who throws across, and there's 1 away. Seven up and 7 down to start this ball game for Lucas Hlauch. like I said, was good enough to keep the Czech Republic in the ball game against Australia on day 2 of this tournament. Australia would eventually win 5-3. But going 4 innings in that start, allowing 4 earned runs, striking out 5. It was a close ball game for a while. Australia pulled away late to win 5-3, but this young right-hander kept them in the ball game. Here's a sharply hit ball, but right at the second baseman. Grapel gobbles it up, and there are 2 away. That's 8 consecutive retired by the 17-year-old. So here's Rowan Van Hoek playing for just the 3rd time. He's 0 for 5, still looking for his first hit in this World Cup. This right-hander, 22 years of age, so he's only 5 years older than the starting pitcher. He is one of the youngest we have seen. We saw a youngster for Australia a couple days ago in Kai Hampton, who's 18 years of age. And I believe Lucas Hlouch is the youngest pitcher that we have seen here in Monteria in the last, now 6 days of baseball action. Here's a called strike on the 1-0 to Van Hoek. He possesses lively stuff. Not only does he locate his pitches well, but he's got a relatively lively fastball, the 1-1. This one slapped toward the right side. The right fielder going over. Grapel slides and he makes the catch. That's an incredible sliding catch in right field. The inning comes to a close. Jakub Grapel. Have another look. Heading to the right field foul line, dives, makes the grab, and keeps 3 perfect innings intact for his starting pitcher. Let's go to the 4th. Czech Republic leading 3-0.
Ataca Czech Republic, se defiende Holanda. Turno al bate. Es para Jakub Kubica, tercera base.
3-0, Czech Republic out in front of the Netherlands. Starting pitcher for the Czech Republic, 17-year-old Lucas Hlouch, has been perfect through 3 innings. There's a ground ball toward Taka over at first base. He'll underhand to his pitcher, and Jakub Kubica retired for the first out on 1 pitch here in the 4th. Well, Jakub Grapel with a phenomenal sliding catch. In right field in that last inning. It's pretty slim fielding here from the Netherlands first baseman, underhanding to Angela for the out. So here's Lucas Turcotte. He walked and was stranded in the second inning. Czech Republic were threatening in that second after scoring 3 times in the first. They put runners at second and third with nobody out. A fly ball, a ground ball, and a pop out to end the inning was all she wrote for the Czech Republic threat, and they have not had a base runner since. Turcotte takes the 1-0 for a ball. It's now 2 balls, no strikes. Next to the catcher, there's a called strike in the 3-0. Turcotte with just 1 base hit this week. He's 1 for 6. Again, not the normal starting catcher. If everything would be going the Czech Republic's way. He has filled in quite nicely for Vladimir Šlup. He takes the ball on the 3-1. And walks for the second time today. He's walked 4 times without striking out, so he's certainly acquitted himself well. At the plate, the backup catcher. Here's Radim Novotny now, who doubled to put runners at second and third 2 innings ago. The top of the Czech Republic order couldn't deliver, and the 2 men were stranded. This ball gets away from the catcher. Van Hoek couldn't keep it in front. And Turcotte will advance down to second base. He's in scoring position for the second time today. See if the Czech Republic can't half manufacture one here with 1 out in the 4th inning. And they are looking for their first win of this tournament. They come in at 0-5, the Netherlands 2-3. With this consolation round, very important for the Netherlands. They need to finish higher than Australia to maintain their 7th overall world ranking at the end of 2018. This 1-0 is a called strike. That'll even the count. They come in 30 points higher than Australia. There are more than 30 points separating each finishing position at this U-23 World Cup, meaning that the Netherlands will need to finish higher than Australia to keep their 7th position. Both those teams are 2-3 after the opening round. It should be a fun ball game tomorrow when the 2 teams meet. The 1-1 is low, and Van Hoek is going to go out and have a conversation with Nelmerson He's had to throw quite a few pitches through 3 1/3, 62 to be in fact. Only around 55 of those have been for strikes. He's gone into some deep counts, has allowed 3 hits, gave up the home run to Jakub Grapel in the 1st inning. The 2-1, low for a ball, 3 balls and a strike, in danger of putting 2 on for Jakub Andrusek, who awaits on deck. Very different Czech Republic team than what we saw the first few days of this tournament. They are playing with some belief. The 3-1, there's a called strike, says Malcolm Johnson, our home plate umpire. And another full count for Nelmerson Angela. This is one of the reasons why that pitch count is so high. These Czech Republic hitters working the counts. Angela has struck out 4. Here's the payoff. Swung on and spoiled away. We talked about it 2 days ago and mentioned it this morning. Since that home run that Martin Muzik hit to tie the ball game against the Dominican Republic, this Czech Republic team has been playing with belief that we did not see their first 4 games in this tournament. 3-2, high and away, ball 4. It's the 2nd walk in the inning. And there's 2 on with 1 out for the 9-hole hitting Jakub Andrusek. already the 7th base runner that Nelmerson Angela has allowed. And with that, there is some action. A right-hander up and warming in the Dutch bullpen. So here's Ondrusek. He flied out to right field. That was when the Czech Republic had another fantastic scoring opportunity in the second. Just as they've done here, Turcotte and Novotny reached base, but there was nobody out. Nelmerson Angela was able to pitch around the jam with no runners crossing the plate. Here's the 0-1. That's fouled away. Ondrusek flied out to right. Mostek then grounded out to second base. Turcotte didn't trust himself to run on the slowly hit ground ball. And then Philip Smola popped up shallow on the infield to end the threat. Czech Republic trying to not have a repeat of the second inning here in the fourth. Here's the 0-2. Low, says Malcolm Johnson, 1-2. Still a close one, it seems, in the first of the day in Barranquilla. Korea taking on Japan. Japan leading that one just 1-0. Again, the Japanese team has not dropped a game in this tournament. They have not looked like losing. But their Korean foe and regional rival are sticking tough in that first game of the Super Round up the road in Barranquilla this morning. It's still 1-0 as they play in the last of the third inning. There's a 2-2 that's spoiled off foul toward the right side. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. When you look at some of the stat lines from what Japan have done in this tournament, it's really just not fair how good that team is. It'll be fun to see them take on Venezuela tomorrow. It'll be the afternoon game tomorrow when those two teams face off. Will they both be 6-0? That's the question. There's a sharply hit ball into center. Room for Ulrich de Jong. He makes the catch. No tag from Turcotte. He stays put at second base. So line out for the second out of the inning, and we'll turn the lineup back over to Filip Mostek. Well, Japan hitting .272 as a team. But their combined team OPS is over 800. Slugging .443 as a team. They've hit 6 home runs, 12 total extra base hits through 5 games. And perhaps more impressive than their offense has been their pitching. 45 2/3 innings pitched. They have allowed only 5 earned runs. They have been incredible. 1-0 to Mostek. This one taken high. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Was hit by a pitch. Came around to score in the first and then grounded out with 2 men in scoring position and 1 out in the second inning. The Czech Republic have scored 3, they have left 2, and there are 2 more runners on base with 2 outs here in the fourth. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Mostek let loose, swings and misses. It's 2 balls and a strike. So if Colombia can get by Mexico tonight in Barranquilla at Estadio Edgar Renteria, and Japan can defeat Korea, it will set up a 6-0 versus 6-0 matchup tomorrow afternoon. Wouldn't that be something? There's a ball outside. Netherlands faithful not happy with the ball call. Malcolm Johnson just letting him know the ball was outside. A few hoops and hollers from the crowd down the third baseline, and he just raised his right hand. Left-handed batter's box and said, the ball was 6 inches outside. What do you want me to do? He's called a few good games in all seriousness behind the plate, Malcolm Johnson. He's a very, very good caller of balls and strikes, the South African umpire. Here's a called story. Swinging strike on 3-1. By and large, these umpiring crews that we have had in Monteria have been good. And when they do miss one, that's why we have replay. Managers have been very good about when to use it as well. Here's a 3-2 instead. Check on the runner. Pitch count really starting to elevate for Angelo. This potentially could be his final inning of work. His next pitch will be the 82nd of the ball game. Payoff is swung on and missed. And he pitches out of the jam again. Gets the strikeout. He's K'd 5 back-to-back innings in which the Czech Republic have left 2 on base, 4 total in the ball game. Let's go to the home half of the 4th. It's 3-0.
El deporte y la educación son nuestra bandera. Alcaldía de Montería, Montería adelante. Aldrich de León, Centerfield, es el bateador en turno.
Well, 3 runs in the top of the first inning for the Czech Republic. The only scoring to speak of so far this morning as we reach the second hour of our first ball game here on the first day of the consolation round. There will be 3 days of consolation baseball. 3 teams that flew in from Group A will play the 3 teams that they have not yet faced that were the bottom 3 in Group B. Here's a swing and a miss. Top of the order, due up for the Netherlands. They have not had a base runner. The 17-year-old Lucas Lauch has been perfect through 3 innings. The 1-1 to DeYoung, sharply hit but foul down the first base line. DeYoung flied out to center field, leading off the home half of the first inning. Was a 2018 June draft pick, was taken in the 17th round by the Los Angeles Dodgers, seeing his parent club playing in the World Series, albeit down 0-2 after 2 games. Now that the series will head to Los Angeles. Here's a ground ball to Smola at second base, and DeYoung is retired for the 2nd time today, 1 away in the 4th.
Ahora batea Francinel Martina. Él es el shortstop.
Mentioned that last night there was a ceremony prior to the start of World Series game number 2 for Yadier Molina. Franciel Martina takes an off-speed pitch for a called strike. It's 0-1. Martina popped out to third base at his first at-bat. Yadier Molina being honored as the winner of Major League Baseball's Roberto Clemente Award for his humanitarian efforts as part of the disaster relief in Puerto Rico early on in 2018. There was a ceremony for Yadier prior to last night's World Series game, but of course Yadier was not in attendance at Fenway Park in Boston. The 0-2 hit sharply toward third. There is Kubica, long throw across the infield. It's Franciel Martina, and that is now 11 up and 11 down. Good work by Lucas Louch. There's 2 away here in the 4th. I say Yadier Molina not in attendance yesterday for receiving that Roberto Clemente Award because he's here. He's in Monteria, Colombia. Sure, he would like to be in Barranquilla, playing in the Super Round as the manager of the Puerto Rican U-23 team. But he was here as part of Group B, and he will be here for the next 3 days managing Puerto Rico in the consolation round. His club will take on South Africa in our next ball game of the day. That's the 3 o'clock game, local time here at Estadio de Béisbol 18 de Junio. Here's Sheraton Apostel. He takes a big hack at a 1-0 pitch. Starting to press these hitters for the Netherlands. Have not had a base runner. 11 up and 11 down. How good has this 17-year-old Lucas Louch been? Again, was quite serviceable in his first start of this tournament, working on 4 days rest. And he's been lights out to this point. No offense to speak of for the Netherlands. Can they break the duck? The 1-1. That one's outside for a ball. 2-1 now. Apostel was a strikeout victim to end the first inning, one of 2 Ks. Through 3 2/3 for Lucas Louch. Apostel, a farmhand in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. He was originally signed by Texas in 2013 before he was flipped to Pittsburgh for cash considerations in the 2018 season. Here's a 2-1. Fastball that misses low and away. Louch in danger of putting the first base runner of the ball game aboard with 2 outs here in the 4th. Martin Muzik out to have a conversation. (3-1). There's a fastball that catches the black on the outer part of the plate, and the count's full. Apostel looked to be taking all the way on 3-1 just to allow the Netherlands to acquire their first base runner. 2 out, here's the payoff. The 3-2, missing low, ball 4. And in their 12th hitter of the ball game, the Netherlands have their first base runner.
El turno al bate ahora es para el bateador designado.
He retired them in order in the first 3 innings. Lucas Louch retired the first 2 that he faced here in the 4th. And on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, he walks Sheraton Apostel, and the inning will extend to Ruar Verkerk. He's kept his pitch count low. He can probably throw another couple of innings, this young right-hander. He's able to maintain his efficiency. This one's fouled off toward the left side. Next pitch that he throws will only be his 60th of the ball game. Compare that to Nelmerson Angela, who's thrown 82 pitches through 4 complete. The 1-1 is lined right at the first baseman. Mostek makes the catch, and the inning comes to a close. Well, Louch, he allows his first base runner, but immediately pitches around it We will go to the 5th inning. It's been all Czech Republic. They lead the Netherlands 3-0.
Sigue la fiesta de la cultura en Montería. Del 1 al 3 de noviembre disfruta de nuestro festival Golondrina de Plata, que este año rinde tributo al Porro. Oficina de Cultura y Turismo, Montería, adelante.
Top of the 5th inning at Estadio de Béisbol 18 de Junio. Nelmerson Angela coming out for the 5th. Despite a relatively elevated pitch count through his 4 innings of work, he threw 82 pitches through 4. Facing Philippe Smola to begin this inning. He takes high on a 1-0 pitch. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Smola, Cervenka, and Martin Muzik, the 3 due-ups for Czech Republic, who lead 3-0, scoring all 3 in the top of the 1st inning. 2-0 misses, now 3 balls and no strikes, with Martin Cervenka awaiting on deck. Smola taking all the way, and he takes off the plate outside. A 4-pitch walk to begin the inning. And that may be all that Sidney DeYoung needed to see. Emerges for the first time out of that third base dugout, and he is signaled for the right-hander out of the pen. So that will be the end of the morning for Nelmerson Angela. Walks the first man that he faces here in the 5th, and he will exit with nobody out of the top of inning number 5. We'll step aside. Czech Republic leading 3-0. New pitcher incoming for the Netherlands.
El nuevo lanzador en Holanda es Angelo Wickler, Sale del partido el Béisbol Angela. Anotador nuevo en Holanda.
4 innings, 3 runs, all earned, 3 hits, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts for Nelmerson Angela. He exits. Enter the right-hander Angelo Wicklert, who's pitching for the 3rd time in this tournament. Cannot quite close the book on Angela just yet. He is responsible for Philippe Smola over at first base. And Martin Cervenka leading things off. Takes a ball in the first offering. Cervenka singled, came around to score on the 2-run bomb from Jakub Grapel back in the first. He's also struck out. He's 1 for 2. And here's the 1-0. The right-hander fires, and it's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Wicklert has pitched against both Colombia and Chinese Taipei. 2 2/3, both in relief to this point. This is his 3rd outing of the tournament. He's allowed just 1 earned run in those 2 appearances. As here the 2-0 catches the plate. 2 balls and a strike. 1 strikeout and 2 walks in the 7 batters that he has faced. And inherits a man aboard after Nelson Angelo walked the leadoff man. Sidney DeYoung had seen enough. Here's a ball that's hit high in the air into right center. Outfielders converging out, and it's Engelhardt who makes the catch in right. And Wicklert retires the first man that he faces. Cervenka is gone. There's 1 away in the 5th. Don't forget 2 more games here in the consolation round in Monteria today. The second will be Puerto Rico taking on South Africa. And the first chance for the Monteria fans to see the host nation Colombia. That will be tonight against Australia. Hope to have a good crowd here at the ballpark. There's Martin Muzik. He takes a ball in the first. Colombia had a win and you're in game yesterday. It was a makeup ball game against Chinese Taipei. The bench is cleared in that contest. Colombia was not happy with some of the at-bats, I think, that Chinese Taipei was taking. There was some discrepancy on what the TQB ended up needing to be. The equation was simple for Colombia. They just needed to win the ball game, and they weren't able to, so they had to catch a flight here to Monteria late last night with this consolation round, and they will get the late game against the Australians tonight. Martin Muzik, he has hit a sacrifice fly. He's also lined out to the 3rd baseman. Here's a swinging strike, and he's in the hole, a ball and 2 strikes. That line out that he had back in the 3rd inning over to Sherton Apostel was a phenomenal catch made by the 3rd baseman. It was hit on a line. Apostel leaping to his right made the catch. For all intents and purposes, robbing Martin Muzik of a base hit and likely extra bases. Here's the 1-2 from Wicklert, and it's spoiled off foul down that right field line. We've been fortunate to have beautiful weather here in Monteria. Partly cloudy skies as we approach the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour on a Thursday morning. The rain has stayed away for the last few days, and for that we are eternally grateful. The 1-2 missing low for a ball. It was this man, Martin Muzik, who really woke the Czech Republic up in this tournament. Played a hell of a ball game against the Dominican Republic, and here they are leading 3-0, looking for their first win against the Netherlands. 2-2 missing high. And it's a full count. The Netherlands in danger of walking their 2nd man in the inning. Philippe Smola walked to begin the frame. That's when Nelmerson Angela was pulled. Wicklert retired Cervenka with a fly ball to right, and now a payoff pitch coming to Martin Muzik, and his ball's hit pretty hard. into right field. Engelhardt drifting back. Now he takes a couple of steps in. There's 2 away. So 2 relatively well-hit fly balls, albeit outs to the right fielder. 2 right-handers going the opposite way. And here is Jakub Grapel. He's done a bit of everything today. The 2-run home run back in the first, made an excellent diving catch in right field to retire Rowan Van Hoeken in the 3rd inning. And here he's swinging first pitch, and this one's hit to right. Rashid Engelhardt has a busy inning. The right fielder has all 3 putouts. Good work out of the pen by Angelo Wicklert. Retires all 3 that he faces. Midway through 5, we're halfway home in our first of the day. It's 3-0 Czech Republic.
Hindley, quien es el bateador en turno, es segunda base.
Well, Lucas Slouch is not allowed a hit through 4 innings of work atop the mound. Vladimir Schlup sends him back out for the 5th, facing Swendley Lint to begin this home half of the 5th inning. It'll be Lint, Taka, and Engelhardt. Rashid Engelhardt was busy last half inning. He had all 3 putouts in right field. All balls hit the opposite way off of right-handed bats. 1-0 is taken on the inner part of the plate for a called strike. Svenli Lint wasn't a fan. Lint struck out looking for the 2nd out of the 2nd inning. One of 2 strikeout victims of Lucas Slouch. By and large, he's let the defense work behind him and has been relatively efficient. He'll likely have a couple of more innings in him if he can have an efficient 5th. Here's the 1-1. Hit on the ground toward 3rd, and that's foul. The Netherlands 2 wins in this tournament, coming against Chinese Taipei on the official final day of the opening round. They did have to play yesterday against South Africa. They finished up what was a suspended game from day 3 of the tournament. They ended up winning that game 7-3 yesterday morning. Here's a ground ball toward the left side, and there's the first base hit of the morning for the Netherlands. It comes on their 14th hitter of the ball game. Their second base runner, Svenli Lint, who had only had 1 hit in 13 tries in this tournament, gets the first base hit against Lucas Slouch. A seeing eye single that splits the defenders on the left side of the infield. And now here is Timon Taka, who grounded out. He's 0 for 1. Now everyone can relax. The hit's been given up. Here's a called strike. Taka, he's 5 for 19. He's doubled. He's driven in 4 in the tournament. 19-year-old left-handed swinging first baseman. Actually a switch hitter, hitting from the left side against the right-hander here. There are 2 other true left-handed swingers in this lineup for the Netherlands, in Aldrich de Jong and Ruar Verkerk, with Timen Taka, a switch hitter that's batting lefty against the right-hander. Nobody out here in the 5th. It's a swing and a miss. Good pitch from Slouch. And he's ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. There's strike number 3 issued to Timen Taka. He didn't like it. He's sort of shrugging his shoulders as he slowly walks back to the dugout. Here's the pitch sequence from Lucas Slouch. There's the swing and the miss, and then the called strike 3 in the inner edge. Taka didn't think so. It's a 3rd strikeout for Lucas Slouch. There's one away in the 5th. Here's Rashad Engelhardt. He's squaring as if to bunt, but he pulls back and takes a called strike. We're talking a little bit about the Dutch Major League's last inning. Now the manager for this Netherlands side had a long, decorated career in the Dutch Major League. Onkbal Oudvlasse, if you will. There have been many a great player who have started in that league to begin their career. Of course, so many decorated players to have come out of the Netherlands, Curaçao. Andrew Jones, of course, perhaps one of the more famous names. Didi Gregorius, the current Yankee shortstop. Both of those individuals have played for the Netherlands in various World Baseball tournaments. In fact, Didi Gregorius has been knighted by virtue of winning a World Cup as a member of the Netherlands national team. He is Sir Didi Gregorius. The 0-2 is popped up. It'll be playable for Smola. The second baseman makes the catch, and there's 2 away. Andrew Jones may seem like a name that's a blast from the past, but just going through it with my broadcast partner Alex Cohen last night, we were reminded that he was on the Netherlands team that played in the Premier 12 just a few years ago, that first Premier 12 tournament back in 2015. He's Delano Salasa now hitting with 2 outs. He takes the first for a ball. Been in his 40s at the time when playing for that Dutch national team at the Premier 12 tournament in Asia. Here's a ground ball toward third. Kubica across the diamond to first, and the inning is over. Well, the Netherlands get their first base hit. Svenli Lent breaks the duck, but he's left aboard at first. Let's go to the 6th. In all Czech Republic this morning, they lead it 3-0. Jakub Kubica getting set to lead things off as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Andrew Reynolds, thanks for your company on a Thursday morning. Thanks for hanging out with me. My partner Alex Cohen will be along for our second game of the day. It'll be South Africa taking on Puerto Rico before Australia takes on the host nation in Colombia a little bit later on tonight. In our first day of consolation action here in Monteria. Kubica, Trinkat, and Radim Novotny, the three-men due up for the Czech Republic, leading at 3-0. All three of their runs coming in the top of the first. And the exclamation point, the two-run bomb with 2 outs from Jakub Grapel. Originally called a foul ball and was reviewed. Saya Silva, the crew chief, went up to the headset. She made the call, came out and said home run. The Czech Republic led 3-0. Netherlands have only mustered 1 base hit through 5 at-bats so far as we play in the top of the 6th. Kubica 0 for 2. The 0-1 is low for a ball. That'll lead to the count, a ball and a strike. I was talking about that Dutch team at the Premier 12 back in 2015. And of course, Andrew Jones, the decorated major leaguer, putting the boots back on to play for his country. It was an interesting Netherlands team. Jones at that time would have been 38 years of age. He's been missing off the plate outside for a ball. Another member of that team would have been Robbie Kortemans, who is the pitching coach for this Netherlands club. Kortemans has represented the Netherlands on numerous occasions in international competition. Just looking at the roster from that team, that was a fun baseball team, that Netherlands side that played in the Premier 12 3 years ago. Kubica draws a leadoff walk, 3rd time that the Czech Republic have put the leadoff man aboard this morning, and Kubica is aboard for Lucas Trinkat, who will hit for the 3rd time. He's walked a pair of times this morning. Luke Van Mil, the 7-foot flamethrower, was on that Netherlands team as well. Charlin Shope, a member of that team. Hanley Stacia. Vladimir Ballantyne, who now plays with the Yakut Swallows in Nippon Professional Baseball in Japan, played on that club for the Netherlands. His first to turn card is fouled back on a bunt attempt behind home plate. And speaking of MPB players that played in the Premier 12, that Japan team was outrageous. Not only were Kenta Maeda and a baby-faced 21-year-old Shohei Ohtani on that roster, the entire offense was made up of MPB superstars. It's a wonder they didn't end up winning that tournament. 0-1, taken low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Shogo Akiyama, all-star. Yoshitomo Sotsugo, superstar. Takehiro Norimoto, superstar and NPB champion with the Rakuten Golden Eagles. It was some Japanese team that, at the time, Hiroki Kikubo was the manager of the Japanese national team. It's a heck of a team that Japan put together in that 2015 tournament. Of course, Korea ended up winning the tournament. Here's a 1-2. This one's a spoiled foul off toward the right side. We'll do it again at the ball and 2 strikes. Another Premier 12 on the way in just about 12 months' time. It will be fun to see what those rosters end up looking like. Several eventual big leaguers playing in 2 years ago's version of that tournament. Brett Eidner being one of those players. Jacob May, another. Tyler Pasternicki few eventual big leaguers playing on the United States team. Tyler O'Neill, who made his debut this year for the St. Louis Cardinals organization, played for Team Canada. There's a fly ball to right center. That's down for a base hit. Kubica on his way to third, and he slides in. It's runners at the corners to lead things off here in the sixth for the Czech Republic. We've seen some good pieces of hitting from this Czech team this afternoon. Add this to the list, the right-handed swinging Lucas Turnkat playing in the designated hitter spot today. Goes the other way, gets a pitch that he can drive. He's been aboard 3 times. He's walked twice, now he's singled. And the Czech Republic are threatening for more. Here's Radim Novotny now. He's doubled and walked. They've yet to retire him. Has not driven in a run in this tournament. He has a prime opportunity to do so here. First offering from Wicklert, missing off the plate outside. And this is a Netherlands team that will once again be involved in the Premier 12 tournament in 2019. They are currently ranked 7th in the world. It's the 1-0 hit towards second base. They'll throw behind the runner at third. It's not quite in time. Svenli Lind trying to catch Jakub Kubica napping over there at third. He pops up with a wry smile on his face. So sharply hit ball off the bat of Radim Novotny. See the throw now behind the runner. And now here's Jakub Andrusek with men still at the corners now. 1 out. Andrusek is flied out to right. He's also lined out to center. Mentioned that the Netherlands, if they want to maintain that 7th overall spot in the final 2018 rankings, they will need to defeat Australia, more than likely, in this consolation round, or at least finish higher than the Australians end up finishing. And the highest finisher as part of this consolation round will end up 7th overall. Here's a pop-up back to the pitcher. It's caught, and they'll double up the runner at third. Apostle keeps it in front. He steps on the bag. Kubica was off on contact, and he gets doubled up. Good defense in the inning from the Netherlands. Let's go to the last of the 6th. It's still 3-0 Czech Republic.
Rowan Van Head es el receptor, bateador en turno.
Rowan Van Hoek will lead things off. as we head to the home half of the 6th inning. 9-1-2 in the order. Takes a called strike. Van Hoek is lined out to right field. The Netherlands only with one base hit. Here's a ball bouncing up the middle, and that'll sneak through for a base hit. Hit number 2 for the Netherlands. Back-to-back innings in which they've had a leadoff single. Van Hoek has his first base hit of the tournament and will turn the lineup over for the Netherlands. Could this be the inning, perhaps?
El turno ahora es para Aldrich de Jong.
In which they mount a bit of a comeback. Aldrich de Jong will hit for the 3rd time. He's flied out and grounded out so far today. Had a pretty good tournament as part of the opening round, with 6 for 19 coming into this consolation round. But is hitless today, as are many of his teammates. This young 17-year-old right-hander for the Czech Republic has been tough. The numbers for Lucas Hlauch to this point. 76 pitches through his now 5+ innings of work. Only 2 hits, the 3 strikeouts, and the 1 walk. He's let his defense work behind him. He's been very, very good. There's a called strike and a 2-0. Now 2 balls and a strike on de Jong. de Jong, a 2018 June draft pick of the Los Angeles Dodgers, 17th round. He was drafted out of Florida Atlantic University. So it's taken low for a ball, 3-1, with Franciel Martina waiting on deck. This consolation round to decide the 7th through the 12th best nations in the world at the U-23 age group. There's the super round will determine the world champion. Through to 6th place this is a called strike number 3. Aldrich de Jong thought it was ball 4. It was actually a called strike 2. It was a throw down to first base, but that was Martin Muziek trying to see if he could catch Rowan Van Hoek napping if he too thought it was ball 4. Wasn't much on the throw. Here's a payoff to the left-hander. That's swung on and missed. That's a frustrating at bat for Aldrich de Jong. He thought he had a walk. Instead, he strikes out. A good comeback from Lucas Hlauch, his 4th K, and there's 1 away with a man aboard.
Franciel Martina, shortstop, es el bateador en turno.
So here's Franciel Martinez. He too is looking for his first base hit, and he gets it. Single into center field. Van Hoek will hold up at second base. He'll stay put right there, and it's runners at first and second base, and the first real RBI chance now for the Netherlands. Sherton Apostoli, who has homered. He did so in the opening round in Barranquilla. All of a sudden, despite how dominant the Czech Republic have been in this ball game, one swing of the bat could tell a very different story. Rowan Van Hoek beginning the inning with a base hit. The strikeout of de Jong, a single from Franciel Martina on the first pitch. And John Hussey, the pitching coach for the Czech Republic, is going to come out and have a conversation with Lucas Hlauch. 5 1/3. He's thrown 82 pitches. It wasn't until the 14th man of the ball game, the 14th hitter of the ball game, the Netherlands had a base hit. It wasn't until the 12th hitter of the ball game where they had a base runner. Hlauch retired them in order through the first 3 innings, and then retired the first 2 that he faced in the 4th before walking Sherton Apostol. And that same Sherton Apostol will come to the plate here with a chance to drive in the first run of the game for the Netherlands, or perhaps more. His 2nd home run of the tournament would tie us up at 3 apiece. He has struck out, he has walked. He's 0 for 1, the first two, the right-hander, a big swing and a miss. 7 for 22, the overall numbers in the World Cup. He has drawn a tournament-leading 9 walks. A very patient hitter from the right side, Apostle, and this is a long fly ball deep to left. Did he get enough? We're tied. He did it again. Sheraton Apostle, a 3-run bomb into left field, and in the blink of an eye, the Netherlands have tied it up at 3 apiece on a 1-out, 3-run blast from the 3-hole hitting shortstop. Alleviating a bit of frustration. You can see it on the face of Sheraton Apostle. That was a big fly into left field. The 3rd hit of the ball game and the first 3 runs cross and the 2nd home run of this tournament. And we are knotted up at 3 apiece. Boy, that must have felt good for the Dutch shortstop. They were struggling mightily against this 17-year-old right-hander. Brand new ball game here at the bottom of the 6th. Here's Ruar Verkerk now, who takes a called strike. Next to Verkerk is hit toward the right side. There is some action down that right field line of the Czech Republic bullpen. Boy, the final line is really not going to be indicative of just how well Lucas Slouch pitched in this ball game. The 17-year-old right-hander, probably the last time that we'll see him in this tournament. But he will be back, I'll promise you that. Here's a bouncing ball to second. Smollett gobbles it up and throws on to first. There's 2 away. This 17-year-old right-hander was cruising through 3 2/3. He had not allowed a base runner, retired the first 11 in a row that he faced. And it's a Netherlands team that's played well offensively this entire tournament. You were never going to be able to keep them down. And it's Sheraton Apostle is the man who brings the game not only back within reach, ties it up at 3 apiece on an absolute bomb that was smoked into left field. His 2nd of the tournament. The 0-1 hit sharply toward third, off the glove of Kubica into left. Sven Lint on his way to second base. He'll stand up right there, and now the Netherlands have the potential go-ahead run in scoring position with 2 outs. We'll wait to see how they score this, and it goes up immediately. That'll be a base hit. It's a double for Sven Lint. And that is going to chase the 17-year-old right-hander Lucas Slouch from the ball game. Vladimir Schloop emerging from the first base dugout. He will certainly give this 17-year-old right-hander a firm handshake. He was more than serviceable today. Just a couple of pitches proving his downfall, and he gets a nice round of applause from the locals here in Monteria. We're going to the pin. The Netherlands, for the first time all day, threatening. They've tied it at 3, a chance to take the lead when we come back. right-hander. It's the third time that we've seen him here in Monteria. 2 2/3 inning. He's allowed 4 earned runs in those 2 2/3. He has struggled in the 2 games in which he's pitched. And he comes on in the tough spot here. He'll face Timon Taka, who has a chance to give the Netherlands the lead. He's swinging first pitch. Fouls it off toward the right side. Allowed a couple of runs in an inning of work against Korea. And a couple of runs in Czech Republic's 20-0 loss against Puerto Rico as well. This is the 3rd appearance for the right-hander Vavarusa, the 0-1. In the dirt low, blocked by Music. Taka so far in this one, he's grounded out and struck out. Lucas Flouch struck out a total of 4 in his 5 2/3 innings of work. Cannot be the winner in this one. Could be the loser if Svinli Lent is able to give the Netherlands the lead. It is a bouncing ball, foul outside of first base. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Czech Republic got all 3 of theirs in the top of the first. The Netherlands have gotten all 3 of theirs on a 3-run home run from Sherton Apostel here in the last of the 6th. Yuri Vavarusa trying to send us to the 7th. Timon Taka trying to give the Netherlands the lead. Here's a ball hit toward the left side. That's gobbled up by Kubica. The long throw is in time. And a lengthy inning comes to a close. Brand new ball game as we go to the 7th. The Netherlands have tied it at 3 apiece. Brand new ball game as we go to the top of the 7th in Monteria. Top of the order for the Czech Republic, who led 3-0 after a half inning. It is now tied at 3 apiece. Angelo Wicklert goes back to work, and the first to Philippe Mostek is taken on. Mostek has been hit by a pitch. He scored one of the 3 runs in the first. He's also grounded out and struck out, officially 0 for 2. He's 2 for 15 in the tournament. Takes the ball low and away on 1-0, 2 balls, no strikes. Philippe Smola will await on deck. Martin Cervenka hits third. Martin Music, who has homered in this tournament, he awaits if anyone's able to reach base in this inning. 4 times in 6 games, the Czech Republic have had a lead, but are still yet to win a ball game. Here's the 2-0. That's outside for a ball, 3-0. These 2 clubs, the only 2 European teams that are represented here at this U-23 World Cup. 3-0. In for a called strike. It's 3-1. 3 teams from Asia. 4 if you count Australia, but technically Oceania as it's determined by the WBSC. Here's a base hit into right field to lead things off. Filip Mostek aboard for the second time. That's a good start for the Czech Republic after surrendering a 3-run lead last half inning. The leadoff man aboard here in the 7th. And the breakdown of teams in this U-23 World Cup. The 3 teams out of Asia. Australia, the Oceania representative. 5 teams representing the Americas. One bunted toward the right side of the infield. That'll get the runner over. The sacrifice is good for Smola. There's 3-4 on the putout as they look to manufacture a run and grab that lead back here in the 7th inning. Martin Cervinka, the right-handed swinging shortstop, will have the RBI opportunity with 1 out. The 5 teams from the Americas, the 3 from Asia, 1 from Oceania. South Africa, and the 2 teams from Europe. As we'll have a pinch runner now at second base. Good look at who it is. It'll be Martin Hallebeck, who comes in to run for Filip Mostek. Expect Hallebeck will stay in and play first base. Seen Hallebeck plenty of times in this tournament. Could he be the game breaker? Could he be the man that scores the go-ahead run for the Czech Republic? One thing about these leads that the Czech Republic have had, once against Australia, once against the Dominican Republic, they led against Korea as well. Once they've surrendered it, they've not grabbed it back. They can change all that in this plate appearance. Here's a swing and a miss from Cervenka. In 3 out of 5 games, they led in the opening round. And they led before we played an entire half inning this morning in Monteria. The Netherlands have come storming back, but could the Czech Republic reclaim a lead here in the 7th inning? Paying a lot of attention to Martin Hallebeck there at second base. Here's the 0-1. High and away for a ball, count even. South Africa and Puerto Rico, they will match up in our second game of the day here at Estadio de Béisbol 18 de Junio in Monteria. Australia and the host nation Colombia will be the nightcap. Ball taken outside. 2 balls and a strike. Again, the 3 teams that represented Group A initially will play the 3 teams that represented Group B. There will be no crossover within your original groups. So all of the 9 matchups that we see over the next 3 days will be fresh ones. There will be no repeats. The only repeats in this tournament are the 3rd place game and the World Championship final. Those are the only repeat games that teams end up playing. First 8 games are against different opponents, no matter how you stack up. 2-1 is swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Really like the format that these tournaments are played in. 2 separate groups, Group A, Group B, different sites. Everybody plays everybody. The top 3 advance. Only the record amongst those top 3 teams matter when you get to the Super Round. It's quite a fair and equitable system, the one that WBSC has come up with. Here's a big swing and a miss. Cervenka falls to an E. And that's a massive strikeout for Angelo Wickler. Cervenka down on strikes. There's 2 away. Get a load of this swing. Almost came out of his shoes, Martin Cervenka. Falls to an E. And here's Martin Muzik. He was one of the storylines that occurred in the Czech Republic's miraculous ball game against the Dominican Republic. He hit the game-tying homer. Here he takes the ball high and off the plate. He has driven in a run on a sac fly that was back in the first. Had a base hit taken away from him on a great play at third by Sheraton Apostle a couple of innings ago. And he is also flied out to right field, officially 0 for 2. 0 for 3, I should say. I tell you what, Angelo Wicklert is paying a lot of attention to Martin Hallebeck with the 9-9 on his back. Here's a 1-0, well off the plate outside. Spending a lot of time worrying about a runner at second base. When you get the man at the plate, you get out of the inning. It might be what Rowan Van Hoek is going to go out and chat with his pitcher about. Robbie Quarterman's the pitching coach, will come out as well. Quarterman's, as we mentioned a couple of innings ago, a member of the Premier 12 team for the Netherlands back in 2015. And I would expect probably telling his pitcher, hey, look, worry about the hitter. You got a man at second base, yes, but there's 2 outs. If you retire the man at the plate, we can have a stretch midway through 7 and give ourselves an opportunity to claim the lead in the last of inning number 7. Wicklert stepped off 4 or 5 times to look back at the man at second base. It's a lengthy discussion by Quarterman's, and Malcolm Johnson's going to go out and grab the pitching coach. It looked like Quarterman's was waiting on that, so that he could say a few things to the home plate umpire. So 2 balls and no strikes to Martin Muzik. He has homered in the tournament. The 2-0 is taken for a called strike. Can Muzik deliver again, or will Wicklert send us to the bottom of the 7th inning, tied at 3? Czech Republic still looking for their first win of the tournament. The 2-ball, 1-strike pitch is high. A team that is led in 4 out of the 6 games that they've played, but are still searching for that elusive first victory. 2 years ago in this tournament, they did win a game in the opening round. They won their 3rd game of that tournament. But have had some hard luck here in 2018. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss, tapped into the glove of the catcher. And a chance to put the runner in motion here. Martin Hallebeck, the pinch runner, who does run well, aboard at second base. He'll be off with the payoff coming to Muzik. There goes the runner. Here comes the pitch, and it's hit right back to the pitcher. Fielded by Wicklert. He lobs on to first, and the inning comes to a close. Will the Czech Republic threaten? They get a runner aboard to lead off the inning, and they can't drive him home. It's time to stretch. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th, tied at 3 apiece. Well, a little bit of a breeze here at the ballpark. It'll be some nice reprieve for those players standing out in the sunshine. Sidney DeYoung hoping his team can grab their first lead here in the 7th inning. Rashid Englehart will lead things off. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 spots, the latter third of the order. The first to Englehart is in for a called strike. So far today is grounded out. He's also popped out. 2 softly hit baseballs that have not left the infield here. Tries to check his swing, but just gets a piece, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. So it's Yuri Vavarusa who's back out for another inning of work for the Czech Republic. I'll give you the final line on Lucas Hlouch in just a moment. 0-2 taken high for a ball. Hlouch went 5 2/3. Allowed just 3 base hits. One of those a 3-run home run. He did walk 1, also struck out 4. My oh my, was he good through the first 4 innings of this ball game. He had not allowed a hit through 4. As a matter of fact, retired the first 11 that he faced and did not give up a base hit until the 14th hitter of the ball game. It came in the 5th inning. Since then, it's been all Netherlands. Next to Englehart, missing off the plate outside for a ball. And the count even 2-2. And this tournament still means quite a bit for the Netherlands. Of course, this consolation round to determine the 7th through 12th best nations in the world, as the 2-2 is spoiled foul. But for the Netherlands, sitting just 30 points ahead of Australia, midway down the list in that top 12, this tournament could help make or break their 7th spot at the end of 2018 in the world rankings. Australia could potentially jump the Netherlands if they're not careful. Here's a 2-2. This one's hit on the ground toward third. Kubitz has been busy over there at the hot corner today. There's one away. Again, this tournament worth the 3rd most amount of world ranking points of any of the WBSC tournaments. The only 2 worth more are the Premier 12 that will happen in about 12 months' time. The other is the World Baseball Classic. Still yet to determine what the points totals will look like for the Olympic competition. The highest place finisher of this consolation round in 7th place will take home 305 points. It'll be 256 points for the 8th place finisher. It's 40 to 50 points difference, all the way down to 60 points for 12th place. So there is a chance, indeed, that the Netherlands, if they're not careful, could lose their number 7 overall world ranking. So there is certainly still something to play for. Here's an off-speed pitch, pretty good one as well from Vavarusa, but it misses low and away. 3 balls and a strike. Here's a bouncing ball back to Vavarusa. He gloves it underhands. What a play by the Czech Republic right-hander. Hopped up off the mound and said, "Look what I found, Mon Frere." Well, that was a good play. Hopefully we get another look at it. One of 2 or 3 comebackers that we've seen in this ball game. And a nice snag here from Yuri Vavarusa. Look what I found. Almost surprised himself. 2 gone here in the last of the 7th inning. Rowan van Hulk swinging at the first, and he finds himself in a quick hole. No balls and a strike. Van Hulk is lined out. He's also singled and scored. And here he pops one up. Foul ground, plenty of room for Mostek. He makes the catch, and the inning is over, so it's been good work from Yuri Vavarusa. He's retired all 4 men that he has faced. We go to the 8th inning. It's getting late, but we're tied at 3. You get a look at the tail of the tape to this point. It has been 2 half innings. 3 in the top of the first for the Czech Republic. 2 runs coming on a home run. 3 in the last of the 6th for the Netherlands. All 3 coming on the second home run of the tournament from the Dutch shortstop Sherten Apostel. And that's where we currently stand. 3 runs for each of these 2 clubs. 3 runs on 5 hits, as a matter of fact, for both the Netherlands and the Czech Republic. Leading off here is the man who hit the 2-run bomb in the first inning, Jakub Grapel, 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run that gave the Czech Republic the 3-run lead that has been evaporated after the 3-run home run from Apostel. It'll be Grapel, Kubica, and Trenkat, the 3 do-ups in the middle of the order, 5, 6, and 7. The 1-0. Off the plate outside, 2 balls, no strikes. In South Africa, Puerto Rico at 3 o'clock here in Monteria. The host nation, Colombia, getting their first look at Estadio de Béisbol 18 de Junio here in Monteria tonight. 8 o'clock first pitch when Colombia takes on Australia. 2-0 is hit into center field, and this will drop for a base hit. So Jakub Grapel aboard for the 2nd time today. He's done a bit of everything. Home run, a single. He's made a diving catch in right field. And that base hit will prompt a meeting. It looks as though we will have a pitching change. There's been some stirring in the bullpen down that left field line, and it will be the end of the afternoon for Angelo Winkler. He was good on in relief of Nelmerson Angelo. Will go to the pen once again, tied at 3. The potential go-ahead run aboard for the Czech Republic.
Hay nuevo lanzador en Holanda. Mike Roy es el nuevo lanzador. Sale Angelo Winkler.
A combined 2 2/3 innings in his 2 previous appearances. That 1/3 of an inning against Mexico, faced just 2 hitters in that appearance, and 2 very good innings against Chinese Taipei, in which he faced 6. Was able to get a ground ball double play as part of that appearance. Here he's facing Jakub Kubica. Kubica takes the first off the plate for a ball. He is struck out, grounded out, and walked. Yakub, here he takes a called strike. Count even. Mike Hroon is spelled G-R-O-E-N. Pronounced as if there's a phantom H. Here's a 1-1. Swung out and missed. Ball and 2 strikes. Baseball can be educational. Learning how to pronounce names from individuals all over the world. Mike Hroon is certainly one of those that could throw you for a loop. There was a double clutch in the attempted throw behind home plate here from Van Hook. Oh my goodness, Grapel gets off the bag, even though he beat the throw by a mile, and he'll be out. This is disappointing for Jakub Grapel. Hook couldn't get the ball out of the glove. Grapel comes off the bag. Very good heads-up baseball by Franciel Martinez. Martina, I should say, to apply the tag. Realizing that Grapel was off the bag and there's 2 away. That's devastating stuff for the Czech Republic as there's now 1 gone. So 1 out, not 2. Grapel, after finding himself aboard to lead off the inning, is caught stealing, even though he had to lead off the inning, is caught stealing, even though he had the base swiped. And the count now full on Jakub Kubica. And the Czech Republic needing to mount another challenge. The payoff off the plate outside for a ball, and Kubica draws a 1-out walk. And oh man, how big could that caught stealing prove to be for the Czech Republic? They hope to forget about it in just a matter of a couple of at-bats. Here's Lucas Turcotte, who has not been retired today. He walked a pair of times. He's also situational pitching. He's allowed just the 1 earned run in the 2 1/3 that he's pitched. Here's another strike. This one called, and it's 0-2 on Lucas Turcotte, the backup catcher who's playing in the DH spot this afternoon. Hroon looking for the strikeout of the ground ball to send us to the last of the 8th. There's a fly ball into right field. That's caught for the 2nd out of the inning. Kubica having to retreat back to first base, and there's 2 away. So now the inning is in the hands of Radim Novotny. Right-handed swinging 20-year-old center fielder who has hit in the leadoff spot at times in this tournament. Vladimir Schlup has moved him to the 8 hole for this, their 6th game of this World Cup. He's doubled, he's walked, he's lined out to the second baseman. He takes a called strike. The Netherlands can hold on here. They'll have an opportunity in the last of the 8th inning, the top of their order due up. The 0-1 swung out and missed. Hroon has not struck out a man in the tournament. This is his 3rd appearance. This would be a big one if he could get it. The 0-2 swung on and missed. What work from Mike Hroon. Comes on with a go-ahead run aboard at first. Nobody out, pitches around it. And the Netherlands with a chance. Top of the order due up as we go to the last of the 8th, tied at 3.
Turno al bate para Aldrich de Jong, centerfield. Aldrich de Jong, bateador en turno.
Bottom of the 8th inning, top of the order for the Netherlands, tied 3-3. Aldrich de Jong hitting for the 4th time. Takes high at the letters. He's flied out, he's grounded out, and he struck out. 0 for 3, came in 6 for 19. Top of this Netherlands order has done damage in this tournament. It's in the bottom 3rd that has struggled. It's been a very top-heavy lineup for Sidney de Jong. And 2-0 coming to Aldrich de Jong is in there. Catches the inner part of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. De Jong, a graduate of Florida Atlantic, was selected by the Dodgers in the 17th round earlier this year in the June draft. He's a native of Willemstad in the Curacao. This one's fouled off toward the right side. Talking about the amount of players that have come out of Curacao. Ended up playing at the highest level in the big leagues as this one's fouled off toward the left side. There's Kenley Jansen, Andrew Jones, who we talked about a few innings ago, Andrelton Simmons, Jonathan Scope. There have been so many that have come from the tiny baseball playing nation of Curacao. Baseball playing island, I should say. Playing for this Netherlands national team. And then moving to Major League Baseball. 3-2 is swung on and missed. De Jong strikes out for the 2nd time, and now Franciel Martina will hit with 1 out, nobody aboard here in the 8th.
Es el bateador en turno, shortstop.
Martina is popped out, he's grounded out, he's also singled and scored. Here's the 0-1. Takes it low. 1 ball, 1 strike. course, another, perhaps one of the more famous players to come out of the Netherlands, Didi Gregorius, not from Curacao. He was born in Amsterdam. Certainly be remiss if you didn't mention the Yankee shortstop when you talk about some of the greats that have come from the Netherlands. Didi, as talked about a few innings ago, even knighted after a World Cup win for the Netherlands national teams. The 2-2 taken low into the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It was back in 2011 in which Gregorius was knighted. Here's a ground ball to short. Cervenka up with it. He throws across in plenty of time. Martina is retired, 2 away in the 8th.
Y tenemos el tercera base es el bateador en turno.
Was part of the 2011 Baseball World Cup, which the Netherlands won that tournament. Players on the team were knighted in Curacao. There was no monetary reward for winning that tournament, but all members of that World Cup winning team in 2011 for the Netherlands were knighted, including current Yankee shortstop Didi Gregorius. 0-1, missing low. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped out of play toward the right side. That'll be a ball and 2 strikes. Of course, the narrative when Gregorius took over for the great Derek Jeter at shortstop for the New York Yankees was, well, he can't possibly fill the hole that Derek Jeter leaves. He's done a pretty good job of it, as it turns out. But the narrative was, well, he's knighted, and Jeter's not, so let's give him a chance. Boy, has Didi found a home in New York. He has been very, very good since joining the Yankees. He came up in the Reds organization. That's where he hit his first big league home run before moving over to the Arizona Diamondbacks and then being traded to New York. Apostle has homered once. Here he pops one high on the infield. Foul ground. Kubica is there. He makes the catch. And we go to the 9th. Well, this has been a good one. Tied at 3 apiece. Who will blink first? We'll find out when we come back. Just in case we need it, as we go to the 9th, there you see the extra inning rule. International rules are in play. A runner will be placed at first and second base, nobody out to begin extra innings. We go to the 9th, tied at 3 apiece. We saw an extra innings ball game already in this tournament featuring the Czech Republic. I was against the Dominican Republic 2 days ago. But this Czech team did score a run in the top of the 10th, but the Dominican Republic scored 2. They walked it off and punched their ticket to Barranquilla
El turno al bate.
and the Super Round.
Para Simón Blasek, nuevo bateador. Simón Blasek es el bateador
Speaking
en
of
turno.
Super Round and Baron Kia, Japan currently leading Korea 3-1 in the first game of the Super Round that is currently ongoing. Chinese Taipei will play the Dominican Republic later today. That'll be the afternoon game. Then Mexico, Venezuela. It should be a raucous crowd at Estadio Edgar Renteria later on tonight when Mexico and Venezuela get together. If Japan can hang on and win, Venezuela will be aiming to go 6-0 as well, and those two teams will meet tomorrow. How good would that be? Japan and Venezuela both at 6-0, going mano a mano tomorrow afternoon at Estadio Edgar Renteria on a Friday. Get your tickets. So Jakub Andrusek leading things off for the Czech Republic. 9-1-2 in the order for Vladimir Šlup's team. Andrusek has not been aboard, and he's swinging first pitch on a couple of hops. Tricky over there for Lind. He has plenty of time, and a good scoop by Taka. One pitch and one out. Andrusek is retired to begin things here in the ninth. The ball sort of felt like it was never going to get to Sven Lind at second base.
Ahora batea Martín Calave, nuevo bateador.
Here's Martin Hallebeck now. He's hitting for the first time. He came in to run for Philippe Mostek back in the second inning. Has stayed in the game to play first. Here he takes a called strike on the inside part of the plate, 1-1. Okay, not starting in this one, but Hallebeck has played plenty in this tournament. This one inside outed toward the shortstop, and it's booted. Martina can't hang on. It was hit pretty hard. Hopped up on him at the last moment, and the potential go-ahead run is on base with one out for the Czech Republic. It'll be an error charged against Franciel Martina. And he just booted it. Pretty hard hit. Did take a tricky hop, but a ball that the shortstop knows he should have fielded. And now Martin Hallebeck is aboard at first, representing the go-ahead run for the middle of the order. The second hole hitting Philippe Smola takes off the plate outside for a ball. So Mike Kroon, the Dutch pitcher, caught a break when Kubica was thrown out attempting to steal last inning. Grapel, and now Hallebeck attempting to steal here. It's fouled off behind home plate. Looked like that might have got a piece of the catcher. Rowan Van Hoek quickly losing the mask, and he looks like he's in a world of bother. The athletic training staff is out to have a look at him. Sidney DeYoung, the manager, is out to have a look. Oh, he got hit by the bat. And oh man, that's certainly scary on the backswing from Philippe Smola. Sort of caught it to the right side of his face, maybe his neck a little bit, sort of that unprotected area underneath the hockey-style catcher's mask. But he appears to be okay. That's certainly fortunate. That could have been ugly. So an error has opened up the door for the Czech Republic in the inning. And here comes a 1-1 to Smola. Hallebeck not running this time. And Smola takes off the plate outside. 2 balls and a strike. He's been aboard once. Two 2-1. Instead, they'll check on the runner over at first. He is struck out, he's popped up, and he's walked. He's also laid down a sacrifice bunt, but officially 0 for 2. Another check on the runner over at first. Paying a lot of mind to Hallebeck. Angelo Winkler did the same thing when Hallebeck came in to run for Philippe Moshtak back in the 7th inning, only he was at second base. Running this time, and it's hit toward the shortstop. They stay out of the double play. Good work by Francidel Martina to stick with that one. He bobbled it for a moment, but he does get the man at first. There's 2 away, but Martin Hallebeck puts himself in scoring position. By putting the runner in motion here, the Czech Republic stay out of the double play. That was a tailor-made double play ball if the runner's not off with a pitch. But Hallebeck running. Finds himself aboard at second base, and now Martin Cervenka with a base hit can put the Czech Republic on top in the 9th. First to the righty, it's hit toward the right side, and that's down for a base hit. They're sending the runner. Hallebeck on his way, the throw in time, the tag applied, and the inning is over. The Czech Republic bench will want to have a look at it, but what a play by Rashid Engelhardt, the right fielder. Nails Martin Hallebeck at home, and for at least the moment, ends the inning at home plate. Vladimir Schlup wasting no time. He wants to send it under the microscope and put Saya Silva, the crew chief, on the headset. And it's a big, big moment in this ball game. A single with 2 outs for Martin Cervenka. But for now, Rashid Engelhardt has thrown out Martin Hallebeck at home to end the inning. Well, it happened right in front of our broadcast position. The throw certainly beat Hallebeck. It's just a matter of whether or not the tag was applied before Hallebeck got his hand on home plate. This will be a nervous wait for each of these 2 teams. Vladimir Schlup has already won 1 challenge. It was in the 1st inning when Jakob Grapel had what was eventually a home run called foul initially. They went and had a look. It was overturned. And he's safe at home. Here it is. The tag was not applied in time. They say that Hallebeck got his hand in just in the nick of time ahead of the tag. And how about that? 2 overturned challenges by Vladimir Schlup. And the Czech Republic, for the first time in this tournament, after surrendering a lead, grab it back, and it is 4-3 in the top of the 9th inning. Martin Cervenka with the RBI. It is 4-3. And now Martin Muzik with a man at first, 2 outs. His team leading by a run. Muzik pops it up. Into right field. Here's Engelhardt again. He makes the catch. And the inning is over. So the Czech Republic, they catch another break. 2 challenges that have been overturned have led to 3 of their 4 runs. To the bottom of the 9th we go. The Netherlands backs against the rope, trail by a run.
Berger, bateador designado. Berger.
Well, here we go. The bottom of the 9th inning. Netherlands trailing by a run. Czech Republic looking for their first win of this tournament. They are 3 outs away after plating one in the top of the 9th inning. Ruar Verkerk leading things off. He takes a ball low. Jiri Vabarusa out for another. He delivers the next low in the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. It'll be Verkerk, Svenli Lint, and Timon Taka. And boy, does the error in the top half of the 9th inning come back to bite the Netherlands. 2-0 for a called strike at the letters. The Netherlands dugout did not like the call, as I'm sure you were able to pick up on. The 2-1 swung on, foul behind home plate. And back near our broadcast position, it's 2-2. 3 of their previous 5 games, the Czech Republic had an early lead, but once they surrendered it, could never grab it back. They have done that today against the Netherlands. The 2-2 missing low, 3 balls and 2 strikes with Svenli Lint, the second baseman, awaiting on deck. Swing and a miss on 3-2. And Lint is down on strikes, the second K for Vabarusa. And the Czech Republic now 2 outs away from their first win of the tournament. Vabarusa has been perfect since entering the game for Lucas Hlauch, who was nearly perfect. First to Lint, missing low and in the dirt. He is struck out. He's singled and doubled. He's 2 for 3. He has 2 of the 5 Dutch base hits in the ball game. The 1-0 called strike on the outer edge. Count even. Oh, what a win it would be for the Czech Republic. The 1-1 fouled off and out of play toward the right side. It's 1-2. Czech Republic team that won the European Championships earlier in the year to advance to this tournament. How sweet it would be to get their first win over a European foe. This one's tapped foul down the left field line. And we'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Came oh so close against Australia. And they came even closer against the Dominican Republic, pushing them into the 10th inning in what was a must-win game for the Dominican Republic in order to get to the Super Round. They've been the darlings of Monteria, the Czech Republic. This one's popped up. Giving chase is Kubica. He makes the catch on the track in foul territory. And the Czech Republic now an out away from their first win. And it looks as though Sidney DeYoung may send a pinch hitter to the plate with 2 outs here in the 9th. We'll wait to see who emerges from that dugout. Trying to make something happen with 2 outs. He will go to the bench. And it will be Steven Vidal, the 185 centimeter, 97 kilo right-handed swinging DH. Going to the bench for a bit of pop to potentially try and knot things up. Vidal does have a couple of RBIs in the tournament. He's 4 for 11. None of his base hits have gone for extra bases. The first 2 of them is swung on and missed. He's hitting for Timon Taka, who was 0 for 3 in his 3 at-bats today. Vavarusa trying to remain perfect. The 0-1 called strike 3 on the inner edge, and they're a strike away. A great start from Lucas Hlouch. Vavarusa has retired 8 in a row. The 0-2 is hit on the ground toward third. Kubica has it. The throw across in time, and the Czech Republic win their first game of the U-23 Baseball World Cup. With late heroics, a 4-3 win over European rival the Netherlands. And it's celebration time behind the mound. They deserve that win, the Czech Republic. A tie ball game in the 9th, a close place at home. Vladimir Šluk challenges, gets the call reversed. They score a run, they hang on. A 4-3 win for the Czech Republic. They are now 1-5 with a win on the first day of the consolation round. With a loss, the Netherlands, they fall to 2-4. The final score 4-3. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Czech Republic. 3 runs, 5 hits, the 1 error. It proved costly in the end for the Netherlands. Good to see the Czech Republic pick up their first win of this tournament. Again, our next broadcast comes your way at 3 o'clock local time, just over 2 hours from now. And South Africa will take on Puerto Rico. Until then, my name is Andrew Reynolds. So long. Hope you'll join us at 3 o'clock for our second game here on day number 6.